What's up, YouTube? Poor Man Podcast back with another video. Give me the HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Let's get right into the video.
You living an interesting life. I mean, you're 34 working in the warehouse. What are you doing that's interesting?
I mean, I like to work out.
Okay.
I mean, I like to go out, places and visit places and stuff.
Okay,
I don't.
What are you doing that's interesting?
That's not interesting.
I didn't have none of that when I was a kid, man. I didn't go to my proms and nothing like that.
And at 34 years old, that's your responsibility to address.
Absolutely.
It's nobody's concern but your own. No one cares what you did not have. That's your problem. That's it. I didn't have a father. That's my problem. Everybody got something. How tall are you?
I'm only 5'5". Just turned.
What kind of shape are you in?
I'm overweight. Working on it right now.
Okay. You got two struggles already. You can't be short and fat. About how much do you make a year?
40,000.
And how old are you? Almost 40. So you're underemployed too.
Yeah.
All right, bro. So short. Don't have to worry about that. But your weight and your money with your confidence.
Absolutely. Kevin has a really good point in this clip, and some people will say that he's harsh towards women, but those are generally speaking just people that haven't seen his content towards men. Like, he is absolutely brutal when it comes to his content towards men. If you're a guy and you want to be in a relationship, this doesn't apply to MGTOW. If you're MGTOW, you're men going your own way, I get it. The dating market is an absolute blood sport. But ask yourself, truly speaking, are you MGTOW because you find no fulfillment in family or children, or you don't want to be in a long-term relationship with a woman, you just want to work and kind of be by yourself and you're happy with doing that? Or are you MGTOW because you've given up because you don't want to do the work that's necessary to become a person that people actually want to be around? Confidence comes from competence, and competence only happens from working hard towards something. If you're confident without competence, it just comes off as arrogance, and people can always tell when you're being arrogant. How you look affects your confidence in social settings, and a lot of guys are only focused on money and neglecting their looks. I personally believe looks get you in the door, money sustains a relationship, but it doesn't matter if you never get into the door. For example, I can make the best video in the world. If the thumbnail and the title doesn't look good and people don't click on it, it doesn't matter. And since confidence comes from competence, at some point you're gonna have to look in the mirror and decide what can you do to work on yourself. If you don't like to dress, learn how to dress and dress anyway. Just because you don't like to do it is not an excuse to not do it. There are plenty of things I don't like to do, but I do them anyway because I know they affect my outcome. Now, dressing up doesn't necessarily mean wearing a suit. If you're going to the mall, dress appropriate for the mall, but put some kind of thought into it. How you smell, shower, cologne, deodorant. If you know you work a hard, laborious job, or you know you carry a scent, well, then you're gonna have to take more showers, you're gonna have to use more deodorant, you're gonna have to use some cologne, and cologne is not that expensive. There are plenty of good smelling colognes that are pretty cheap. Your teeth, a lot of y'all working these crazy jobs, y'all have dental, so go and get your teeth taken care of if that's something you feel like you need to do. If your teeth are crooked, go get braces, go get Invisalign. They have options. If your teeth are yellow, go get them whitened. You have options. Make sure you're taking care of your teeth. And the last thing I can think of off the top of my head is your skin. Now, I will say this, in the past, I have neglected my skin. I am a one rag, low maintenance kind of guy. I wash my face with the same rag I wash my ass with, but I will say this, I wash my face before I wash the rest of my body. I am not a savage. But nonetheless, I have neglected my skin in the past until Hanley reached out to me and wanted me to promote their brand on my channel. And I said, hey, I'm not going to promote anything unless I try it. And when I tried it, I realized there's a huge difference between using the same washcloth and having an actual skincare routine. But what I'm basically trying to say is when you work on yourself, you become more competent. You learn things that you never knew, and that then leads you to be more confident. There are some guys that are choosing to go their own way without even giving themselves a fighting chance. As we get older, you don't want to age like a banana. You want to age like a fine wine. And today's sponsor, Hanley, is here to help you do just that. Hanley is an anti-aging skincare product created by men for men. I've been using myself, and I personally recommend the Level 1 system as a great place to start. It comes with 1 daily face wash, a 2-time per week exfoliating scrub that gets rid of dead skin cells, AM moisturizer with SPF 20 for protection from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to make sure your face stays hydrated all night. Even if you have the IQ of a chicken sandwich, no worries. Every box comes with this instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. In addition to amazing skin, members of Hanley get a ton of benefits. Benefits including at least a 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, pause or cancel at any time, and free U.S. shipping and low-cost shipping to most other countries. But in all seriousness, guys, we do have to support the brands that support male content. Tej has been amazing with working with me and allowing me to have free speech, allowing me to create the content that I like to create, and they're going to support it because they believe in our message. So if you guys like my content and if you want some flawless skin, Tej is actually giving you guys an amazing deal. All you got to do is click the link below and you're going to get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. So go ahead and click the link below and get started today. I thank y'all for supporting.
Why would the female of the species want to take your genes and put them into the next generation? Should males like that in the animal world be able to mate?
No.
At 38 years old, is this where you thought you'd be in life?
No.
And what are you doing about it?
Working out.
No, you ain't working out. You're fat.
That's true.
See, this is why I have these conversations, because a lot of this stuff gets lost in the sauce when women start talking about women and these red pills and all this other kind of stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with women. See, at 5'5", you should be in shape for you. You have zero confidence, and you're a quitter. You're underperforming and you lack ambition. You need to go enroll in martial arts or boxing somewhere and let somebody knock the shit out of you. You got a big dick?
Huh?
You have a big dick?
Pause.
I mean, it's above average. I ain't no Ron Jeremy.
No. I asked you if you had a big dick. I didn't say it was above average.
I don't know what that is, really.
You know if you got a big dick or not. Stop the bullshit. Every dude know whether or not he got a big dick. I know I got a big dick. You don't know?
Pause.
You don't have a big dick. That's the point. You don't have a big dick. You don't have a big wallet. You're a fat dude. And you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing signals at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. And women should approach you. What they get, they don't even get a big dick.
Pause.
I've had this dream to start this big art exhibition expo. And I went to school, I did the whole American dream thing. I started medical school. I wanted to eventually become a medical examiner. After a while, it wasn't working for me. I was working 12 to 16-hour shifts at the hospital. I wasn't getting no time with my son. Eventually, I went to the point where I became a stripper.
Oh, man.
And a stripper.
Oh, stripper.
Yeah, a stripper.
Oh, okay.
Yes. A big jump, I know. But at the time, it just seemed like I could have more freedom. I could spend more time with my son. I could make more money, be more financially stable. So this really was a step for me to make my dream come true.
But when she said she's a stripper, I was kind of blacked out a little bit. I'd probably missed a lot of stories. Because once you say you're a stripper, okay, I'm sorry, baby.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
What's the arts?
Yes, a human art exhibit.
Art exhibit.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me to make that happen, I figured this was the best way, being that I was already doing it part-time and making good money. Mm-hmm. I figured I'd do it full-time and I can reach that goal much quicker.
Okay.
Well, my parents obviously wasn't happy with that decision that I made, and I got some backlash from them. At the time, they were taking care of my son for me while I go and pursue this dream of mine. Eventually, me and my mom got into it. Me and my dad ended up getting into it, and I ended up having to go get my son. Now, my son is here with me. Single mom, been a single mom since he was 2, but I had the support of my parents, at least. So basically, my question to you, Steve, is how do I just keep pushing forward without that support and accomplish my goal?
I think she made this decision out of emotion. And the one thing about making decisions out of emotions, especially emotions like scarcity, anxiety, depression, or stress, is it tends to be a more selfish decision. And I think that this is one of the advantages of being a man. Because men have to pick up so many responsibilities, when we make our decisions, they have to be more logical and calculated because we have to take in consideration the people around us. Her in this situation, there's no way she was taking in consideration her kid, because if she was taking that into consideration, you're not going to see your kid more if you decide to be a full-time stripper. Okay, I'm going to say it like this. If you're working all night and your kids are going to school all day, what time are you ever going to have to see them? And that's one of the most dangerous parts about this me society, about this promotion of the the only thing that matters is your happiness, society, because that's not the only thing that matters. Being a responsible adult means that you have to make decisions based on not only your own emotions, but how your decision is going to affect the people around you. And here's the thing, I'm going to say this in her defense, and this is just for the guys to understand. Every guy has that phase, and it's usually in your mid or early 20s where you're going from couch to couch, you don't have a place to live. Sometimes you're living in your car. Whatever it may be, you've had that struggle phase. Now imagine that, but you had a get out of jail free card. That's pretty much every woman in existence. And there are a lot of guys that want to virtue signal and act like, oh, I would never do a couple laps around the brass pole to solve all my problems, all my financial problems. But you don't have the ability to do it. That's the only reason you can try to virtue signal and act like you wouldn't do it. Take girls that are 24 years old that have never had to deal with any kind of responsibility, because when girls are 18, they're told that they can do no wrong. So they've never had to deal with any kind of responsibility. You throw them in a situation where they have no resources. Of course, some of them are going to decide to swing around the brass pole. Now, I'm not saying it's a good decision, but I'm saying some guys should be more empathetic of the decision that people make when they choose to do it. Because I see a lot of guys trying to virtue signal and act like they would never do something like that. But when you were in your couch surfing phase, when you were living in your car and someone told you could go and make $500 a day, a lot of guys would do it. I just think that some guys should be more empathetic. Now, I'm not saying you got to marry him. Not saying you got to marry a woman that's been around the brass pole because you feel bad for her. Not saying you got to date her. Not saying you got to take care of her kids. With that being said, if you're a woman in this line of work and you're demanding respect and empathy from men, y'all have to also understand that if a man goes to work for 40 hours a week and has to work for every single penny that he gets, he's going to have a hard time being empathetic towards a 24-year-old making $7,000 a month complaining about her results because she spent all her money on a Louis Vuitton bag. It's obviously a horrible decision for the vast majority of people that choose to do it, and the consequences kind of speak for themselves. I've never seen a woman that's 35, 40 years old that's proud of being a stripper.
You do understand the pushback from your family.
Yes.
And it's your mother too, and your father.
Yeah,
man, one of my
absolutely.
daughters came in and told me they was stripping, man. Whoa. I'm not fitting to. I as a father, I can't sign off on this at all. Can't help you, support it, nothing, because I'm your father.
Right.
That's a rough profession.
For sure. And I mean, me and my father had a conversation when he found out about it, and he did tell me, he said, you know, he told me the good, the bad, the ugly. My father is like my best friend, so we do talk about a lot. And he did explain to me, you know, I'm not okay with it, but I understand. And as long as by the time you're 30, you're on another path. If it don't work out, go back to what you was doing. I'm 30 now, I'm gonna be 31 in December. So that just keeps playing in my head, and I'm like, I know I don't got much time left.
Well,
So.
you know,
When her dad says be doing something different by the age of 30, I'm assuming he's telling her to just be patient and wait for some simp to come along and take care of you and your child. Because let's just be completely honest. Let's just be honest. Is she gonna go work for NASA? Probably not. And this is the same problem that happens with drug dealers. You get these 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids that are making $5,000 a month, and then you throw them in jail for 5 years. They develop no applicable skills for the job market. They get out, and then you tell them, hey, you have to go live on your own. I don't think they're going to be okay slanging curly fries. And so they end up going right back to their behavior because that's all they know. That's the best way they see fit to provide for themselves. And again, they made those decisions, so they should be held accountable for those decisions and responsible for those decisions. But at the end of the day, this comes from a me society. This comes from a society that teaches you the only thing you should value is your own happiness. In this entire clip, I never heard her talk about the happiness of anybody else but herself. She never talked about the happiness of her kids. She never talked about the happiness of her parents. She only talked about the happiness of herself. And that's what happens. Even with the guys that choose to deal drugs, a lot of the times they will rationalize it by saying, I'm doing this for my family. But if you want to do something for your family, go to work on time every single day for the next 5 years and see what that does for your family. And it's funny because a lot of the women that say they go into this line of work for family or for their own future, they end up with worse relationships in their family, and they end up with no money to show for towards their future. And at the end of the day, they generally end up with no money because they're trying to promote an image and they're trying to promote a lifestyle. Not to mention drug abuse is rampant in this line of work. If you need cocaine before you do your shift, you're probably in the wrong career. Till next time.
Gotta go get this shit by any means, like physics. I'm no chemist, but God makes his word equate and hella lyric petri dishes. Got fucked up dispositions, dropped the pen, picked up the pencil, been precise, seeming consistent. I dissect up every